Jimmie Johnson is up next, and as Jimmie makes his way up here, he's our 5-time NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion, and he drives the number 48 Lowe's Cobalt Tool Chevrolet. He's second in points, and Jimmie is, as I know, you have a very, very important initiative going on right now with the Helmet of Hope. And why don't you start off by talking about that right now?
Yeah, as everybody, or most people know, we have the Helmet of Hope, and we've moved it up on the calendar this year to try to have everything raise more awareness, especially with the tornadoes that took place through all parts of the South and over towards the East earlier. And we added the American Red Cross, added the 13th. I donated that, and we sent $10,000 to them, and then the other two winners so far there on the bottom. So once again, we have a fan draw and then a media draw. And we'll do that now. Bags are so pretty. Number 7. Yeah, I'm sorry. Fan number 7.
Fan number 7.
All right. So Justin Ballou from Manchester, Pennsylvania, nominated ALS. It's the Tennessee chapter. His mother was diagnosed with ALS last year, and he'd love for the JJF to help with fundraising research for a cure for this dreaded disease. It's hard without a table up here. And 8 for the media.
This is for the media?
Yep.
Number 8.
Lollipop Theater Network, nominated by Billy Bush, host of Access Hollywood. That's first. Theater Network is dedicated to bringing the magic of current movies and to children confined in the hospital, or to a hospital. So thank you, Billy, for your nomination.
Very good. Thanks, Jimmie. And as we look ahead this weekend to Michigan, talk about your outlook here at this big racetrack.
Yeah, we've been very pleased with the consistency of our cars through practice sessions, qualifying. Well, qualifying's been all over the place, but once the race starts, we've had a very consistent race car through the course of an event, and that really started around the All-Star time frame. And with the consistent race car, we've been able to better understand our setups and adjustments and changes. And we had another great race last weekend. I felt like we had a shot there at the end. If once I helped the 24 by, if I could have gotten by the 42 quicker or without slowing us up, the 22 got by and some others, and we fell back and then had to work our way back by those guys for a fourth. But I think we're knocking on the door. I think we're very close. We as a team are excited to come back to Michigan, to another big track, to expand on our mile-and-a-half program and the speed that we've been putting in our race cars. The one soft spot right now is qualifying, and we've just got to get a little bit better there. We also were a little slow on the short run at Pocono, which kind of references our qualifying speed. So, but first things first, I'd rather have a consistent car, and especially a car that's fast over the long haul with as many green flag runs that we have, it seems, anymore. It's a very important part. So we're closing in on things, and I think we've got a lot of good stuff right around the corner.
We'll take questions. We'll start here with this gentleman right here in the yellow. Raise your hand. Where's our mic holders? Where are our mic holders?
I've got an extra mic over here.
Just say, I didn't do anything to make them mad, did I?
Must be lunchtime or something.
My goodness. Okay. Hang on one second. We got Becky Cox pinch hitting here. Right here. Dennis, we need a couple mic holders. They can't find them now. Go ahead, sir.
Take a minute to boot up, typically. Oh.
It'd be nice to have them around.
We got a backup coming in.
Okay, you look at sports, and most team sports, to win back-to-back titles is considered quite an achievement now. And to have 5 in a row, do you start looking at maybe is your team the last great sports dynasty we're going to see?
Yeah, I've never really thought of it along those lines. the fact that we have done it, I think, means that it can be done again. It's no easy feat. 5 in a row has not happened all that often or frequent. And I think there was the Canadians. They had a basketball college team, if I remember correctly. There's not. It doesn't happen often, so it is possible, and anything's possible for that matter. But I feel that we've done something in a very difficult period of NASCAR history, with the competition as close as it is week in and week out, and the fact that year after year it's been a different driver. And you look at the names who we've raced with for these championships, and Jeff Gordon, Carl Edwards, Denny Hamlin, Mark Martin. These are amazing drivers with amazing teams, and I'm very proud of what we've done. And I do feel like we have a very good chance at a 6th. And our team is building and going in the right direction right now through the summer months here, and I think we'll be very competitive when September rolls around.
Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Jimmie, this is sort of an age-old question, but after the 18 and the 29 are now off probation, and I don't know if you noticed, but during the Pocono race, the 29 was kind of jacking with the 18 a lot, and afterwards said, want to tell him he's got one coming. Are you guys, or somebody like yourself, are you cognizant of that now going forward, that there could be retribution between Kevin and Kyle, and do you drive any differently when you're around them, or if you notice that they're around each other and you're near them?
Yeah, and we'll definitely keep our eyes open as other competitors on the road. I think I had been aware of them being around one another, period. Now that they're off probation, I don't see it being much different. So I don't see it being a lot different. I've had my eye watching those two for a while, like everyone else has, so I don't see it being a lot different than that. I don't know what where Kevin's mind is and what he has. If he had mentioned, you just want to let him know he had one coming. I have no clue what's going to happen, but I'm sure we'll all be very entertained.
You had an eye on them because, going back to Homestead, even before probation, you knew that there was something brewing.
Yeah. Even before then, I mean, we had as you mentioned, the thing in Homestead, and there's just certain guys around one another. When the 39 and the 42 around one another, I'm just going to take an extra second to watch. It's not that I'm sitting there expecting something to happen, but I just want to be able to change directions and not drive into whatever takes place. And there are a couple pairings like that exist out there. For a while, it was the 24 and the 17. We're like, what's going to happen there? So we typically have that going on, and this is no different than any other instance. I just don't want to be in the mess.
Go ahead, Tom.
Hi, Jimmie. Tom Jensen, Speed.com. It seems to me early in the season, the 29's been fast, the 18's been fast, but the one team that's really picked it up from last year was the Roush Fenway Fords. They seem to be faster than you guys early in the season, and it looks like you guys have either completely caught up or closed the gap. Where were they beating you, and what did you guys do to get back in form?
Yeah, I mean, when we go even back to last year's chase, we knew that, and I made comments then and at the start of the season that Carl was going to be the guy to really focus on, and he has lived up to that. We saw them getting stronger and better, and I admired Carl and Bob's mentality, at least from what I saw in the garage area, and how they worked through a tough time. I mean, they handled themselves about as good as you could. And I know from experience, when you work through a tough time and you haven't killed each other and you come out the other side with success, you're a very strong race team at that point. And Roush as a whole has done a very good job and turned things around. So I look at the other teams that are out there. I think that Roush has kind of set the mark. The other teams have been knocking on the door and trying to get stronger. I look at us and know that at the end of the chase last year, we didn't have the speed in our cars that we needed to win regularly and like we needed to. So we made decisions for pit road and for our race cars during the off season to try to be better when the chase rolls around again this year. And we've taken our lumps as this year has started. We've been off on speed at times. We've had bad stops on pit road, but it's still the same group of people. It's still those same race cars, and we're just working hard to refine the cars and refine pit road. And we're seeing big gains each week. So I'm very optimistic about both scenarios and situations on pit road and with our race cars. And I think we even have some other stuff that has been developed and will come along in the near future that we can put into our race cars for more speed and hopefully peak at the right time.
Go ahead, Amanda.
It's Melinda, but that's okay.
Melinda, I'm sorry.
Melinda Adams, ESPN. Junior's had a drought. He last won here 3 years ago. Just sort of talk about his performance and what a win would mean for y'all's team.
Yeah, I mean, the fact Jeff won last weekend was huge for Hendrick Motorsports, and again, all four teams are working through a new chassis and new stuff. So a win for the company is huge. Junior has been very close, as we all know. If you really look on the racetrack, there's only a few cars passing throughout the course of a race, week in and week out, and I'd say there's 3 or 4, and 2 of those cars have been the 48 and the 88. Unfortunately, we've had bad qualifying efforts, so then we have to pass cars or something has gone wrong during the race where we lose track position. But if you just look at speed in cars and guys that can work traffic, 2 of those cars are one in the same shop, and then the second part of that it's Junior and myself. So we're very excited about our cars, our equipment. I think the bond between Stevie and Junior is going very well, and Steve Letarte is a great fit for him. I'm watching his confidence build weekly, and the team is growing as unit together, and I think wins are right around the corner for those guys.
Go ahead, Reed.
Reed Spencer with Sporting News. Jimmie, you talked about the new approach to the pit crew this year. On a week-to-week basis, do you know who's going to be pitting the car? Have basically you got a first string at this point to where the same guys are on the car week in, week out?
I have an idea, but Chad, the situation Chad created is that he's really trying not to have a first string, second string. You earn your position during the week in practices and prove that you're the fastest guy that week and can do the best job that week going over the wall. So I know every guy on the team. I train with them now. I'm there on Tuesdays working out with them so that we can form a tighter bond together. And I see a lot of good things happening, and I know that they're working very hard for that coveted position to go over the wall and change or carry or jack the car.
Any further questions for Jimmie? If you have one, raise your hand now. Okay, Jimmie, thanks for coming in. Great job with the Helmet of Hope, and good luck this weekend.